Manch, and we're back.
Yeah, we're back from
we
the
are
holidays.
reunited.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
We took a little break for the holidays.
Yes,
So
we did.
We hope that you're still wanting to tune in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a little while, but we hope everybody had a great holidays. Whether or not you celebrate Christmas or whatever you celebrate, hopefully at least enjoyed some time just off and like with family, with friends. And that's the thing I noticed, like even me and my siblings were saying, as you get older, even if you do like celebrate Christmas and stuff, as you get older, like nobody cares about gifts and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, I'm just excited to see my siblings.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see my family. Yeah, like to just relax for a few days and like be fed and like taken care of.
Yeah.
My Oma took care of me. I just like laid on the couch and like she made me hot chocolate and I was like, see, this is the kind of life I need. This kind of break I need.
So nice. What'd you do over the holidays?
So what did I do? I went to my mom's a lot. I was there for a few days, hung out with my siblings, which was nice. Ate a lot, like no regrets. I ate so much. What else did I do? For New Year's, I left to Cuba.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I just got back. It was great. I just got back last week. It was funny because it was like such a typical thing to happen for me and Veronica because, we always have like the dumbest luck. So she got pneumonia on the second day and I had like some weird, luckily like I was fine throughout the trip, but like the last couple of days were rough and then like a few days when I got home were rough because I just got like a weird kind of like stomach bug and I was just like, do you think it's just I just want to take a solid shit, like,
do you think it was just kind of like being in a new place and adjusting and stuff?
I think like food, waters, everything kind of was like a bit it was just a bit of all of that, a lot of sun, a lot of you just have to like monitor that, and I wasn't drinking as much water as I usually do, so yeah, I wasn't too surprised by it, but I was also just like, man, this sucks. Like, I hate stomach things. I can deal with pretty much anything else, but like, headaches and stomach aches are like, I'll cry. Like, I'm such a baby when it comes to those. Yeah. So. I
mean, it's your body, right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
Because I get like migraines.
Older, you're like, oh my God, no, I can't handle this.
Yeah. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
This is the 7th time on the toilet today. Just like crying. But yeah. So there was that. How about you?
It was a lot of family time. It was a lot of just like time at home, which was nice. Yeah. Kind of the same thing, just like being fed, having food around all the time, and just like, just enjoying the time. My sister was home too because she was away for a co-op for a little bit, and so now she's back. And just like regular things like checkups and all that, just catching up things, I would say. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And how about, are you reading anything new? What you reading?
Right now, so we're actually going to go see Andrea Gibson in April, right? So I'm reading their book, sorry. It was Lord of the Butterflies, that's what it's called, new one. So I got that someone gave it to me in like a Secret Santa thing.
Oh, nice.
So so I'm reading through that right now. What about you?
Sweet. Actually, I went book shopping the other day. And I kind of splurged on myself, which was nice. And so it's funny, like some people get like really excited about like shopping sprees for clothes. It's like me and you are always like, I bought books today. Yeah, I spent $100 on books. Yeah. So yeah, that was really fun. I got 3 new books. But the one that I'm reading right now is called, there's the first title for it, but then it's called a feminist manifesto in 15 suggestions. I was trying to think of the full name. And it's by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who a lot of you might know from Beyonce's song Flawless. So she's a Nigerian writer and activist, and she's really awesome. But yeah, and then her writing's really, really awesome too. I like it a lot. And it's cute because pretty much her friend asked her, how do I essentially raise because she's having a daughter. And she's like, how do I raise my child to be a feminist? And so pretty much Adichie was like, okay, she kind of, the letter that she wrote her, she put a version into a book. And so it's like 15 suggestions, and it's just kind of saying like, don't ever make her feel like she has to do this, or make sure she is aware of her body, make sure that she don't ever shame her for her clothes, like just like different things like that. It's just really well written, and it's just like really important messages, and I like it a lot. So it's very short. It's like maybe like less than probably like 80 pages. So I'm almost done it. I just have a couple pages left.
Nice. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's really good.
Cool.
But yeah, what else? What else is new?
What else is new? I don't know. I mean, we were gonna jump into talking about like body positivity and stuff, and I guess that's where all my new stuff is. But how have you been? Feeling? Yeah.
I think because I know. I was talking to you about this before we recorded, but I guess recently, like why I was thinking of this too, like this topic a bit too, the last couple of days was because I had a personal trainer. And she got injured, so she's been off for the last few months, so I haven't gone. And then I got a new one just this week, and I met with him today, actually. And before I went into it, because I was kind of just, like, not in the greatest mood today, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I'm like, whatever. But I was thinking, like, when I actually got there and took a second to, like, take it in, I was saying to my mom, like, I don't really care for this, like I don't really, and I enjoy going because it's like just to have some exercise in general is good for everybody, whether or not you're trying to lose weight or whatever. Definitely, like no matter what you're trying to do, it's good to always just exercise. But I said to my mom, like, I came to this really nice realization that this is the first time in a long time since probably like my teenage years, as long as I can remember, that I'm in a space where I'm not obsessing over my body and also not insecure about it. Mm-hmm. But even more than that, I'm like actually genuinely happy with it. Right. And that's, I think, huge. And like I was saying, of course, before this, that itself for a 23-year-old racialized woman is like an active political, like that's a political act of warfare. You know what I mean? To be able to say in a society where it's like, it's normal to be uncomfortable in your body. It's normal to be in your 20s and be awkward and hate your cellulite and hate your stretch marks and hate this and want to lose a few more pounds for this and want to do that. And I'm just like, no, like need to start normalizing being able to be like, yeah, I'm comfortable with this. Like I was saying to my mom, she's like, yeah, this is cool. This training is cool. And I'm excited to be working out and get back into being more in shape. But like, my goal at all is not to lose weight. Whereas I can think back to me being 18 and like, literally crying in the mirror, looking at my body naked and being like, ew, like, what is this? What is this? Like, I hated so many things that are now I look at it and I'm like, wow, like, I can't believe I didn't even like this. And now I'm just like, yo, I'm that bitch. Like, you know what I mean? So it's funny because I remember even like looking up sites and figuring out like when to get a breast reduction, when to get liposuction, how much it's going to cost me, how to start saving up for it. Like, I just used to look into all these things and like, I would never tell my family obviously about that or even my friends about it, but I would just like be thinking all the time, okay, how can I do this? Or I'm excited to be happy in my life after I lose this next 25 pounds. But I'm like, no, why can't I be happy about my life now? Excited about my life now? Like even I just went to Cuba and like the month leading up to it, people obviously I would joke around and be like, oh, I got to get my body beach ready. And then I remember I said to my friend, I was like, you know what? My body is beach ready. Like the beach gonna get whatever body I give it. Like that's what it is. Right. And I think I'm at a point where, I don't know, you grow up and there's so many things, little things that you're supposed to be grossed out about yourself or like just not feel comfortable with. And you get to a point where you're just like, fuck it. Like, yes, there's body hair. Yes, there's stretch marks. Yes, there's this. But, like, why is that a bad thing? Right. And I'm, like, at a place where it's, like, very genuine where I'm... Because, of course, a lot of times you can talk about, yes, I love my body. And you could say it and kind of... If you say it enough, you'll convince yourself of it, right? Right. But I feel like I'm at a point where I'm, like, I really, really genuinely am, like... I'm good. Like, with what I've got, with what God gave me, I'm happy with, and I'm grateful for. And, like, I think that's a thing, too, is, like, when you kind of... I did a lot of self-reflection, even, like, over the last couple of weeks, especially, like, when I was away, and, like, a lot of journaling, and which was nice, and was just kind of thinking of the fact that you spend so much time thinking about your body growing up in regards to, like, it needs to look good for boys. It needs to look good for this person. It needs to look like this to do this, or it needs to match this to look like this celebrity. But you don't think about what your body, how much your body actually does for you, and you don't actually take time to be like grateful for it. And I feel like I'm at a point now where I look back and I think of like the trauma that my body's been through, or the things that my body's gotten through, or the way that my body's taken care of me, or the things that it's been so resilient to like be able to come back from, right? Yeah. And now I'm just like, I love you. Like, thank you for getting me through this. Like, and you only have one, and you know, and having autoimmune disease and being a Black, chubby, queer woman, like, just, I don't know, there's just so many things that I look at now and I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm at a point where it's just very, like, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm very focused on gratitude, and, like, that's what I've been journaling a lot about lately, is, like, this is what I'm happy about. This is what I'm happy about. And so it's anything I'm noticing that's kind of coming my way, even when it's like shitty days, is like, I'm still like, but I'm happy that this is this. And I'm happy that this is happening this way.
Exactly.
And it could be, I've seen worse. You know what I mean? And I've lived through worse.
Definitely.
And I've had worse times. So I'm just feeling very grateful for my body and just very... Somebody told me the other day, she was like, I don't know how this came up, but she was like, you have a really cute stomach. Like, I know that's really weird to say, but I love your stomach. Like, it looks very cute. Yeah. And I was like, thank you. Like, that's a nice thing to say, but it's like, those little things you're not told that like fat stomachs are cute. You're not told that. Nobody else would ever say that. You would never see that on a show. Somebody look at a bigger person and be like, oh wow, like I like this part of you, or I like that part of you, right? So yeah, I've just been feeling very grateful for it. The fact that like it works, the fact that my body works, you know what I mean? The fact that my body works in the ways that I need it to, and the fact that it's gotten me through things it's gotten me through, and so I've just like, it's just so important to kind of, I feel like, be able to talk about that and to be able to like really reflect on that and think about that and feel that, especially us being at a young age, right? Like in your early 20s, people are like, everybody's like, oh yeah, I hated myself when I was in my 20s. You know, like you hear older women speak and they're like, oh, well, I hated myself when I was in my 20s and I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And I'm like, I don't want to be... You know what I mean? Like, why do I don't want that to have to be a norm. And like, I don't want that. I was thinking like, I don't want that to be my passage and my right into womanhood is to like have hated my body. Like that's something that we, you know, we're all supposed to bond over that, is the fact that like we hate our body. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I not that I haven't been through it. But I think even at such a young age, being able to feel that security with myself and with my body, feels nice. And obviously it's not going to be perfect. Relationships with your body are never perfect, and like it's going to betray you sometimes, but it's like also there for you. So exactly, I've been feeling nice about that.
Exactly. I think like something especially in the past 2 years that I've been thinking about is just like how much my body can just like tell me about me, right? Like I have felt kind of like what you were saying, like when you were 18, like that feeling of like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And like, I always thought it was just like a product of like being insecure and low self-esteem. And I've talked about it a few times and like then realized that there was another word for it and that it was dysphoria and that it was something linked to my gender identity and how I felt about my body. And like, I think for me, I ended up trying to like escape it and find so many other outlets for it, whether it be like creating or like faith or something to kind of make what I had work. And when I finally reached a point where I was like, nope, this isn't going to cut it anymore, which some people get to and some people don't, like, that's when I kind of realized like, okay, I actually do really want a medical transition. And like the things that I thought before about a medical transition, like the reasons I didn't want it, I was like, those are still valid for a lot of people. And like, I'm not going against those things, but I think like where I'm at right now, things have changed. And now I know that what was working before wasn't working for a reason, and something had to give, right? And so I actually started my medical transition yesterday. So day one, baby boy, so I'm, new to the world.
Happy birthday.
So I'm just like, I'm excited. I can't wait for the changes. I'm kind of scared for it, obviously, but I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be exciting. So that was like a huge thing that I realized, like, now that I know that the parts of my body, or like the things I didn't like about my body that caused me like some sort of pain that I didn't know exactly what it was before, can be altered or can be fixed. I'm like, mainly just feel so grateful that like there is support and that there are people that are supportive and trying to help in any way that they can. Like, definitely very grateful for that. But also I think now I'm realizing like by not doing this sooner, I wasn't giving myself what I needed. And I was also putting up with a lot of other bullshit, even like emotionally and mentally, because I was like, no, this is just how it is. This is how my life is going to be. This is what happens to people like me. Instead of being like, yes, it does. How do I overcome it? And how do I step up and be like, I know I deserve more, given everything that's happened. And what is in my power to do right now? And that was what a transition was. And like, what can I put up with, and what is just not going to cut it anymore? Like, what am I seeing through that I didn't see before?
Right.
And I think so much of that was like getting to a place where I was ready to transition, because like you were one of the first people I came out to. That was like 4 years ago, and then after that I went so far into that closet I just never talked about it again. I was like, nope. And
never mind.
Yeah, and then it like kept coming back, and I was like, okay, that's how I know it's real. But it's also like, you have to listen to, like, another thing that's interesting and that I'm kind of still puzzled about is that like in between that time I also got like diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I'm like, and so much of it was stress induced. Like, it's a stress induced disease, and what's interesting for me about that is that how much of that was also not listening to what my body really wanted. And like I think that that's been just something that's been on my mind. I'm like, I wonder how much of those two things are linked for me, like just in my personal experience. I know that there's no like medical journal that's like, hey, if you have this, you're this. And like I'm not saying that that's it for everybody, but like I don't think there's enough, or at least I haven't seen enough of a conversation around like what a trans identity can do to your body outside of like what happens if you take hormones, and like what happens if you have dysphoria, like, oh, what happens if, you know, like you're not listening to what you want and need, and how does that manifest in your life and in your body in other ways. And I think that it's been about, like, it hasn't been too long since I've decided it's what I wanted, and like obviously since I've started, but now that I have, I think I feel just more of my power, and not because I'm transitioning from female to male, but because I'm being myself. Like, I'm transforming into the person that I envisioned. And I think that was a huge thing, was that like I never really planned for a future past university, and I just thought that was a product of like the unknown. But so much of it was also like you couldn't see hoping it could end after that, or that something would change. And I didn't think it was linked to gender at all until I like really started to look at my life and like see how often I was dissociating, see how often I was like triggered by something that shouldn't have been a trigger, didn't really have a reason to be. And like I think so much of it too was like similarly in high school, middle school, I was like surrounded by all these people that were like, you have this is a good thing, like this is a good thing about your body, when really it was the source of discomfort and anxiety and awkwardness. And I wonder, I'm just curious to see even how I think I've noticed like a difference in how I like present myself even now that I've like decided to start and like been like, oh yeah, this is who I am, and just start living like that, like without being like a toxic masculinity, you know what I mean, like without buying into all those things, just unapologetically being living, myself, exactly, and knowing what I'm worth and knowing what's fair, and being vocal about the things that aren't, which is something that I didn't do before, and I really should have started sooner, and that could have prevented a lot of like pain and suffering. But now that I've gotten to this point, I like have just seen like the test of resilience, and like seen how much you know, these past few years of like what felt like a lot of like which felt like death, like literally have contributed to like this rebirth, and contributed to like what I perceive to be like a new life and a better life. So I think
preach.
So
fucking preach.
So I'm just excited.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm excited. I am very excited for you, and I can even see the, like you said, just living unapologetically, I can even notice that difference. Yeah. And I feel like me and you, because of how close we are, like, we can notice so many changes in each other. Like, I can feel like what you're feeling. Yeah, like, we can feel each other's energy, like, from miles away type thing. Yeah. And I can even feel just the unapologetic, because it was always, like, we were talking about, like, years ago when you first kind of came out to me. It was very much like, but I'm not going to do this because this, right? And it was always this always had to do with other people. Exactly. And like trying to please other people and trying to not step on anybody's toes. And like you were talking about earlier, like it's not stepping on anybody's toes to live your authentic life. Yeah. That's like your basic human right. Exactly. To live authentically as yourself. Yeah. So no, I think that's like one of the big things that I know that you struggled with wanting to overcome. And I can definitely tell that now that you're being able to overcome that and be like, okay, you know what? No, this is what I deserve, and this having that mentality changes everything. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Absolutely. So that's huge. Yeah. So I'm excited. Yeah. Congratulations. Me too. Thank you. Thank you. And we are going to do. Yeah. So this is actually. You're like. I was like, wait. So this is the last Lyds and Manch podcast. But. It is but wait, there's more. But it is
the birth of the Lyds Aria podcast.
Bless up.
And I think like we're like, we didn't really like talk too much about this, but what kinds of things do you think the new podcast, what do you think we should include? What kind of direction do you see it going in?
I think, again, I know with Lyds and Manch, one of our focuses was kind of looking at living in St. Catharines, living in a predominantly white town, and how we kind of, how our own activism and our own art and how we kind of heal through those things and just different things about us. But I'm thinking too, and you guys give us your feedback as well, but kind of wanting to spend some more time focusing on, even just us, you know what I mean? Like even just us generally, of like the work that we're doing, things about us, questions that you guys have about us, about our work, about our activism, about our art, about our jobs.
And you know what's interesting is that when we started the last one, we kind of had like, okay, we know what the next 4 months of our life is going to look like. And now I wouldn't say that for me. I don't think that's the case for you. So it'll be cool to kind of be able to look back on this, or like just see where it goes as we start doing like
other ones,
different things, right? Because we don't really have too much. Like, we don't really know. We both were just talking about this, where, like, we have no idea what's next, and that's kind of, we're finally in that together, and it's exciting.
It's a good thing,
and I think that it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be freaking good. Woo. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Hey. It's gonna be awesome.
There always has to be something in there.
So, do you have a quick rant at all today?
A quick rant?
Anything that pisses you off? Anything you want to bring up? Because I'm trying to think of...
Oh, honey.
Everything.
Anything.
Every single thing.
Well, I think something I've been thinking about is, like, obviously now I, like, before I was pretty closeted, but now I'm kind of out in the open in more ways than I thought, and I'm just trying to think about, like, what that'll mean in terms of, like, safety, but also in the fun stuff, the exciting stuff, and I think, like, what it just makes me think about is, like, I've been in such a guarded, wall up, keep everybody out mentality where, like, thinking it was, like, protection and thinking that it was the good thing to do. And I'm trying to now, I think, like, really, really be honest and authentic and real and try to figure out what that actually means. Because I think before I kept defining it in terms of, like, a job and a relationship and my friendships and stuff. And now I'm really, I think, like, I realized that, I've been doing the work without knowing, and, like, I can't, like, I'm not done by any means, but, like, it got me to this point, and now what can I do to get to the next point? And seeing it as, like, a constant, continuous thing, not just something I do once every now and then kind of, like, go back to on autopilot or whatever. So I think, like, I'm just trying to see, like, the benefits of, like, that destructive place, like, what could come out of it and what is coming out of it. And, I guess, like, but basically what I'm saying is just, like, kind of, like, thinking about what mental health looks like this time of year and what recovery and healing looks like this time of year, especially for, like, marginalized people, when that is just never ending, right? Even by a product of being in this society, like, every day there's going to be a new thing that we're going to either process right away and let go of, or, like, hold on to for a while until it goes away, until we work through it. So I think, like, it just makes me realize, like, I thought growing up, I was like, one day I won't think about these things. And now I'm like, you know what? They're going to be there, but they can be either beside or behind me. They don't need to be in the forefront all the time. So it's just something I've been thinking about a lot. What about you? Do you have anything?
It's just a casual thing I've been thinking about. Just a light thing that I've been thinking, just before bed. Just a little thing that I think about.
Just a light thing,
No, those are super valid points. Yes, all of that. Do I have anything to rant about? Yes, I do. It's not nearly as meaningful, but listen here. If you're going to take public transit,
what's this?
Bathe, bro.
Okay.
If you're going to take public transit,
okay. What happened?
Smelling so bad. And don't get me wrong, like, I know everybody's hygiene practices are different. Yeah. Also, if you can't get access to hygiene, I understand that. I'm not harping on you if you actually can't bathe. I'm just saying, like, I see some like little frosty or sweaty first year students who just don't know how to use deodorant. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. So that was stressing me out today. Those are things that I think about before bed.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
Also, I have a would you rather for you.
Okay, go for it.
Would you rather eat a bag of nails?
Like hardware nails?
Yes.
Or like, okay.
Or?
Yikes. I'm just picturing what that would be like.
A bag of nails, you have no water or nothing. I know. Or 6 live crabs with the things on them.
Oh my god.
They didn't take the things off, so you get scratched.
So I'm getting scratched either way.
Oh yeah, true.
I'll go with the crabs.
Yeah, true. That was an easy one.
Yeah, that was
too easy. Yeah, what the frick?
Okay, no, you give it another shot.
Would you rather? Ooh, I use this one on people a lot. It actually stumps them. Would you rather be pregnant for a year or on your period for a year?
But everyone that is pregnant for like almost a year.
Or sorry, 3 years.
Just up the like continuously pregnant.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You pop one out and then you're pregnant again.
You don't even pop them out. It just keeps getting to 9 months and then it goes back down and starts over.
What the fuck? I'll take the period.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, I'll take the period.
I've had a few people say that.
I did this thing a few weeks ago. It was like a health video or like a commercial or whatever, and it was like before I started transitioning and stuff. So like I played like a pregnant woman.
Really?
I had to ask questions to a nurse about, guess what? Breastfeeding.
No way.
So I was doing it, and I was like, okay, this is what it would look like. This is what it would be like, and like the dysphoria just shot up. I was like, nope, I don't think I could do it. Like, nope. I know a lot of like there are trans guys that have babies right. And like they like people freeze their eggs and things like that, but I'm like, not in my body. I don't think
not today.
Nope, not today, not ever. Not in this lifetime. So I don't know, that could change, but as of right now I will
big
bleed
hard
for
no.
a year.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair. So here's the thing.
Listening.
I don't like my period.
Okay.
The way it's set up, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. But I also don't feel... I feel like, actually, I would look really cute pregnant, probably.
Yeah.
So if it just kept... If there's no baby, it just kept coming in, like, just the belly, then I could probably do that. But also, I'm diabetic, so that's a high-risk pregnancy, so I'm not even really supposed to get pregnant.
Really? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, I can, risk, but, like, they prefer that. They're like, don't... My gynecologist is like, just don't do it.
Really?
Please be careful. She's like, no surprise babies. That's why she's always mad I'm on birth control. But I'm like, he. I like women.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I'm not going to explain all that to her right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, that took a hard left.
Yeah.
Anyways.
How? How do you think? Oh,
no.
The question? We're talking about all these things. Body positivity.
So, would you rather have your period for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, maybe let's not make any promises about when Lyds and Aria is gonna debut.
Yes. I'm hoping within the next couple weeks.
Yeah. But we're, as we mentioned, in like places in our life where we're like, I don't know what's happening tomorrow. So,
right.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
We'll probably know by the time this goes up.
We'll have our people talk to your people.
Or not.
Or not.
You know?
No.
I guess we'll find out.
Do what we want.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Eddie, we'll get back to you guys soon.
This is my life now. Yeah. Okay.
But yes. So, yeah, we threw a lot at you. I feel like there's a lot of new things, a lot of big things, a lot of happy things, a lot of exciting things.
Yes.
If you have questions about our new podcast, or essentially the same podcast, but it'll be it'll be a new series.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be different topics and things like that. Of course, we're going to change the name handle. So yeah, it is going to be new. Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to be new. But let us know what you kind of want to hear, what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And let us know too, what was your favorite Lyds and Manch episode?
Yeah.
I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that.
I'm curious, actually.
Yeah. So comment below.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Lyds and Manch episode? And yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Bye. Well, I was about to say thank you next.